would be if you have autoimmune disease, if you're very, very stressed out and inflamed. And if you are, you just start off slow. You start off slow. Have a good workout, baby. Have a good workout. They don't do that. I think testosterone replacement therapy is great, by the way. If you need testosterone, testosterone is so important for maintaining muscle mass, for optimal health, for cognitive function. There is no optimal time to take the shot. Most people take it once a week in the morning. If you have autoimmune disease, then peptides like AOD 9604. So peptides like, and if you are prone to cancer, guess what helps? Guess what is anti-cancerous? Fasting, eating less carbohydrates, keto. These are well understood as being anti-cancerous lifestyle interventions and lifestyle strategies. Guys, if you just joined us here in the live, welcome, welcome. So my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics. We service across the nation, all 50 states. My medical practitioners do the prescriptions. I do the coaching. We prescribe Semaglutide, Tirzepatide, even Retatrutide. If you guys have questions about Reta, it's a pretty amazing peptide. We do the AOD 9604, Semorelin, Tesamorelin, CJC, Ipamorelin. These are all really good peptides. BHRT therapy, TRT therapy, and then we pair it all together with some proper lifestyle interventions. And the lifestyle interventions, the flow protocol, this is key because a lot of you guys are currently, you're being told to increase your dose, right? Like every 4 weeks, increase. And so you're stuck on these larger doses. And what the reality is when you pair these GLP-1s up, these peptides with lifestyle, fasting, keto, carnivore, weight training, all the above, you don't need to increase the dose. When you don't need to increase it to a larger dose, you have less side effects, you have less complications, you have more room in the future. It's easier to maintain your weight loss because when you're on a large dose, what do you think happens when you decrease a large dose? There's a greater propensity for your body and desire for it to rebound, for it to gain weight. So if you want to avoid all that, you got to put in the work now. Let me know if this concept makes sense. And if you just joined us, do me a big favor, introduce yourself. Peptides are naturally occurring compounds in the body that trigger certain processes in your physiology. So optimizing growth hormone, optimizing fat loss, optimizing healing. These are all different peptides. And there are different peptides to optimize different pathways. How does GLP-1 affect insulin resistance? It affects it by decreasing insulin resistance, improving insulin sensitivity. So drop your name. Let me know where you're watching from. Are you currently taking the medications? And how's your journey going so far? Are you dropping weight? Are the results slowed down? Are you losing muscle mass? Are you struggling? Be sure to let me know, and then we'll do a little vote. We'll do a little vote on what you guys want to train on. Actually, moderators, if you want to turn on the vote, we can do 3 different topics for the vote. Hey, Lee, long time, buddy. I think are you in the Philippines right now? We can train on weight loss plateau zombie mode. We can train on reversing insulin resistance. I don't know what the third option is. Let's see. My moderators can tell me, and we'll create a little vote. What growth hormone is best to be on while on TRT? Uh, well, it's not a type of growth hormone. It's growth hormone peptides, CJC, IPA. CJC, IPA are my favorite growth hormone peptides. All right, let me do a little vote here, guys. Some of my moderators are out. Let's see, we got okay. So, okay. Here are the options, guys. Retatrutide. We can talk about retatrutide and the powerful peptides that it is, how to use it. We talk about zombie mode, weight loss plateau, and then we can talk about reversing your insulin resistance. This is a box here on the top left. Mimi, make sure you're reminding people every 30 to 60 seconds to go ahead and submit their vote. Jess, you should not be struggling with energy. That means you're likely in zombie mode. So if you want to learn what that is, how to fix it, make sure you guys click that box on the top left of the screen. Yeah, that's weird, Rachel. Are you subscribed to the channel? Teddy's, can I skip a week? I mean, you can do whatever you want. Are there any concerns with skipping a week if you're not a diabetic? You might eat more food, but I think you'll survive. Yeah, Sherry, if you want to talk about retatrutide, be sure to tap on the top left of the screen. Gen X, only 13 pounds since 9/24. So slow results. Here are the four main reasons of getting slow results: hyperinsulinemia, inflammation, cortisol, and thyroid. These are the four main reasons why you would not be getting good results on GLP-1 medications. And so this is why it's so important. It's so important to understand how to navigate around these medications, how to navigate around these issues. So many people come to us and they've been taking the medication for so long and they've barely lost any weight. It could be either zombie mode plateau, or it could be one of those four reasons. So, you guys, we have about 3 more minutes. Mimi, make sure you're reminding people to vote every minute. Pin it at the top, please, Mimi. Hey, I'm in your program. I wanted to say it's fantastic. As of this morning, I've lost 65 pounds. Thank you, sir. Live it, lose it. Everybody, check out what Live It, Lose It said. This is not a paid endorsement, I promise. I have so many people that find us from TikTok Live that it is what it is, you know. Thank you, Spring Chicken. Super excited for you. Can you repeat why somebody may not be losing? Just got here. Executive Mom, please re-answer your question. I didn't see. I think your questions are being filtered. I don't see any questions, so I apologize. The four main reasons why you would not be losing weight on your GLP-1 medications. Number one, hyperinsulinemia. Hyperinsulinemia is a result of insulin resistance, chronically elevated insulin levels. Insulin is a very powerful storage hormone. And so when insulin levels are elevated all the time, which they're not supposed to be, it puts your body into store, grow. That's a freaking problem. Number two is inflammation. Inflammation could be from autoimmune diseases like Hashimoto's, rheumatoid arthritis, or various GI autoimmune issues. It could be from non-autoimmune inflammatory conditions like PCOS, menopause, Lyme's, post-COVID. All of these are various inflammatory issues. These can both be roadblocks. Guys, by the way, some of you guys are asking how to get started. Shoot us a text message here at this phone number with your name and your email and ask to get scheduled for a free consultation. Libet says, you guys got me past my plateau and got me on the weight loss again. Thank you so much for sharing that, man. Means the world to me. I really appreciate it. We don't do any advertisements, so everything we do is organic. And so it's people like you spreading that message that really I appreciate that. So thank you so much for letting people know. Reason number 3 is thyroid. Thyroid, guys, depending on what topic you want me to train on, the top left of the box of the screen, we have about 20 more seconds, guys. 15 more seconds. Put your vote in. Put your vote in. We got 10 more seconds. 35 votes out of 200. People, it's so funny how people don't vote. 40 votes. There we go. All right, we got 40 votes. That's not too bad. Without a doubt, reversing insulin resistance. All right. I haven't talked about insulin resistance for a while. I feel like you guys have been having me train on weight loss plateaus for so long. So this is good. I like talking about insulin resistance. So if you just joined us, guys, welcome, welcome. So my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics we service across the nation. Hey, Princess, Retatrutide and Zombie Mode. I didn't see you guys messaging me on YouTube. Hello. Trinette from Omaha. Yeah, the voting was on TikTok, just so you know. But so we're gonna train on insulin resistance. Welcome, welcome. Real quick, guys, if you just joined us, I just want you to guys know my clinic does service all 50 states. We have a really amazing program. We have this awesome community on Mighty Networks called the Flow Academy membership. I just want to let you guys know all the different options and resources we have, and then we're going to train. So get your notepads and get your pens ready. We're going to train on reversing insulin resistance. I'm going to break it all down for you. You don't have to buy a bunch of supplements. I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you to reverse your insulin resistance. But give me a couple minutes. I want to go through just a little bit of who I am and what we do. So please bear with me. We do service all 50 states. My medical practitioners prescribe and I coach. We do have Retatrutide, 503A Retatrutide, in case you guys are curious. We have Sema, we do all the peptides, AOD, Semorolin, Tesamorolin, Tesofensine, anti-inflammatory peptides. We do hormone therapies. And then my coaching program, I think, is the most important thing. The coaching program is to make sure that you guys dial in your results. Long-term lasting weight loss means you guys have to get off your ass. And I'm going to say this with love. You got to get off your ass and get to work. And what to do, right, is so important. So let me rapid fire these questions because I know there's a lot coming in, and then we're going to train. We do service all 50 states, including Connecticut. While you're waiting, guys, if you're ready to get scheduled, this phone number right here is the best way to reach out to my team. We do have a ton of free resources, but let me get some of these questions caught up. Catherine, I'm on Ozempic. I lost 55 pounds, but my doctor won't up my dose. I've been at 1 for 7 months. That's a good thing that your doctor is hesitant to up your dose. Tell your doctor I said, good job. Now, I don't know your medical history, but increasing the dose is Princess, I'm sorry, but there's just a lot more people on TikTok. I try to look back on YouTube a little bit. It's always better to follow me on the lives on TikTok. So increasing your dose, guys, should be the last thing that you do. Increasing your dose, let me repeat this, should be the last thing that you do. How's your nutrition? How's your fasting? How's your exercise? How's your sleep? How's your stress? What's your supplement protocol look like? These are the things that matter most. We service all 50 states. We talked about that. Even though we're in Colorado, we do service all 50 states. And yes, we have a ton of success with autoimmune patients because we have pretty awesome anti-inflammatory options like low-dose naltrexone or BPC 157. Low-dose naltrexone is a powerful anti-inflammatory compound. It also calms down the overactive immune system. If you're in the UK, you can join my coaching program. You just can't What I don't have is an ability to ship peptides there. Unfortunately, insurance companies will not pay for coaching programs. I can't even get some of you guys can't even get insurance companies to pay for your damn um for your medications, let alone paying for the coaching programs. Is it okay to skip a week? You know, it just kind of is what it is. If you're not a diabetic, it's not the end of the world, but you know, you might struggle with some hunger for that week, and that's basically it. The best area to inject is pretty much any fat tissue, any area of fat. LDN also curbed my appetite. Yeah, LDN's pretty amazing. LDN can also give you mood improvement, can suppress appetite a little bit. Yeah, LDN's pretty cool. Thoughts on GLP-1s for males trying to conceive? I think it's great. You know, sperm count will probably increase on GLP-1s because when you decrease visceral fat, when you decrease inflammation, when you improve insulin resistance, you're going to probably increase testosterone levels, which and probably LH and FSH levels, and so you're probably going to improve um, sperm count. Good morning, morning. So we talked about you guys know what I do now, and some of the free resources. If you guys are not ready to work with us professionally, good morning. We do have a ton of free resources. We have a free Facebook community. We have a free weight loss guide and a free peptide guide, which I break down the various strategies and components to losing weight and all the various peptides. We do have an amazing community that it's $27 a month. For $27 a month, you guys can be part of the fam. Now, that membership comes if you end up doing one of my coaching programs. Sent you a video on here, Chewy. Yeah, I'll check it out. Um, for the $27 a month, this is ideal if you can't afford any other coaching program at the time. You get access to our community chat, to our community wall, the guides, the resources, the ambassadors. There's a ton of support for you. And then finally, we do have Natalie. Yes, we do lipotropic shots, but lipotropic shots are not that special, I guess, is the best way to kind of explain it. Um, the let's see. Oh, and then aside from the Flow Academy membership, you could also become a subscriber on TikTok. Uh, Subscribing to TikTok gives you a lot of benefit to my private lives. Let's see. Let's see. Subway. I don't know what Subwave is. Let's see. On. Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Okay. So on a GLP-1 for almost 2 years now, I have low libido. Can you help? Yeah, low sex drive is almost always testosterone. So I look at testosterone levels first. Uh, Princess, I'm not sure why that would be. If you if you could message my other TikTok, I have 2 other TikTok accounts. I could see what we can do. Not sure. You shouldn't be blocked. If you message my other TikTok account, I would absolutely unblock you. For testosterone, we'll do total testosterone, free testosterone. We look at your lipid panel. We're looking at CBC, CMP, A1C, overall metabolic health. Really, really important. I'm not familiar with Vitra. What is it? Chewy, chewy. Am I back on TRT yet? No, I'm not. I'm kind of curious where I go. I am going to keep testing my testosterone levels. I want to see what happens. Plus, I plan on having kids pretty soon, so we might it might make sense to get on testosterone after that. Is there a correlation between hypogonadism and high cortisol? Um, yes, you can say there's a correlation. Uh, High cortisol leads to insulin resistance. Insulin resistance leads to weight gain and visceral health, and that could decrease testosterone levels and contribute to hypogonadism. But I wouldn't say it's definitely a direct correlation. Yeah, pretty soon, women, you know that. Um, yeah, I'm not familiar with Vitra Scoobs. What is it? Heather, I'm on Retatrutide and AOD, gaining weight. The Tirzepatide I was on seemed to stop working. So the Retatrutide didn't stop working. You just have other issues with your health that you need to address. You need to address your insulin resistance and inflammation with lifestyle. The Retatrutide and AOD is a great combo, but you have to fix your insulin resistance. And guess what? We're going to be talking about insulin resistance. We're going to be talking about how to reverse it here in a second. I think I'm a little bit caught up actually. So I think we can dive into it. I got about 10 more minutes, so this is perfect. Um no, Darlene, questions are coming in, so I have not had a chance to get caught up. You did great with semaglutide. Guys, by the way, this phone number, before I hop off today in 10 minutes, this is the best number to reach out to my team. So make sure you shoot us a message with your name and your email and get yourself scheduled for that consultation. Insulin resistance. In order to understand insulin resistance, you need to understand insulin. Insulin's job is to shuttle the nutrients, the glucose, the carbohydrates from the blood into the cells. It doesn't just store glucose, it also stores carbohydrates, fat, and protein. Insulin is a very powerful storage hormone. In a normal situation, in an insulin sensitive person, not resistant, you if there's a graph, and I have this really cool graphic that I do in my videos now, 24 hours on the bottom, insulin levels on the left of the graph. You see person eats, glucose levels rise, insulin rises, blood glucose drops, insulin levels drop. It's a really quick spike in insulin and down very quickly throughout the days, multiple times a day if you're eating carbohydrates, if you're eating like crap. But if you're insulin sensitive, the percentage of the day that insulin levels are elevated or low. I need you guys to understand that concept. The percentage of 24 hours that insulin levels are high, it's a very low percentage. So most of the day, insulin levels are low, even if you're eating sugar all the time. This is referring to a scenario where you are insulin sensitive. The more insulin resistant you are, the more hungry and tired and brain foggy you're going to be. And it's going to make sense by the end of this explanation. So, in a healthy individual, insulin does not stay elevated. Now, insulin resistance is the situation in which your body it stops responding to insulin as effectively. If your body didn't do anything to compensate for the decreased responsiveness to insulin, then your blood sugar levels would rise. And your body won't do that because elevated blood sugar levels will put you in the hospital and ultimately end your life faster than many other things. So your body compensates for the decreased responsiveness to insulin by making more insulin. And this is why you can start. This is why when people ask, how do you test for insulin resistance? You test for a fasted insulin and C peptide panel. Because when you're fasted, you shouldn't have elevated insulin levels. But as you start becoming resistant to insulin, you start having more and more elevated insulin levels, even when you're not eating. So many things lead to insulin resistance, including lifestyle. But then insulin resistance leads to more insulin. And eventually, when you become very insulin resistant, you develop a condition known as hyperinsulinemia, AKA chronically elevated insulin levels. Remember, I told you in the beginning when you're insulin sensitive, the majority of 24 hours a day, insulin levels are low. But when you become hyperinsulinemic, the majority of 24 hours a day, insulin levels are high. So now you're starting to understand why insulin resistance is bad. It's because hyperinsulinemia. Why is hyperinsulinemia bad? Because now your body is constantly trying to store nutrients. Your body is constantly trying to grow. Storing and growing is the opposite of fat loss and energy burning. This is why you're tired. This is why you wake up in the morning and you're dragging your feet throughout the day because your body can't tap into the fat that it has for energy because you're so damn hyperinsulinemic. And so, if you force yourself to get into a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. The research is very clear. Short term weight loss will always happen in a calorie deficit. But long term smooth weight loss is solely dependent upon your body's difficulty or lack of difficulty to respond to the calorie deficit. Because if you're insulin resistant, your body cannot mobilize fat and meet the energy demands of the caloric restriction or the fasting or the keto for that matter. So, this is why my favorite peptide to stack, and now you guys really need to pay attention to this. My favorite peptide to support GLP-1 is called AOD 9604. AOD mobilizes body fat. AOD mobilizes body fat. Chewy, I don't know any national company or anything like that. So if you can support your body to mobilize the fat, hey, what's up, Eric? If you can support the body to mobilize the fat, as long as you eat less food, you will lose weight and you will keep losing weight. You will protect more muscle mass, relatively speaking. You won't spike your cortisol levels as much. If you're getting high quality AOD troches, the ones that we prescribe, 600 micrograms, high quality, you do it in the morning fasted, one time a day. You could go up from there if you're really trying to push the needle. Usually AOD 4 months on, 1 month off is a good approach. Thank you, Chewy. What is GLP-1? GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide. Glucagon-like peptide refers to the classification of the incretin peptide hormones that naturally occur in your body. And so semaglutide tirzepatide is a modified version to last longer. What happens if your insulin levels are low? Would that affect GLP-1 and GLP-1? No, not at all. If your insulin levels are low, that means you're more optimal. And if you're more optimal, you don't need as much of the GLP-1s. That's the cool thing about it. The more optimized your health is, the less support that you need. You can get peptides from us. We work with a high quality 503A compounding pharmacy. If you guys are interested in a free consultation to learn more about the peptides, Princess, KPV is great for gut healing. Michael Clatton, I've been on carnivore diet for the past 6 weeks, 5 weeks. I've been on the carnivore diet. So yes, I've been losing some fat. But I also I had a couple weeks there where I wasn't lifting as much, so I think I did lose some muscle too. So I'm back at it. How to purchase AOD? Shooting us a text message here and get yourself scheduled. AOD does help with intermittent fasting. It helps with long fasting. Yes, we prescribe AOD, Amanda. AOD is freaking amazing. Yes, Caesar or Sezek, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound is the same thing as Semaglutide, Tirzepatide. Yes, your insulin could also be very, very low if you're a type 1 diabetic, for example, and you're not injecting insulin. So there are definitely situations and scenarios where insulin can be low, but that would be very, very low. That would be obviously a whole different situation. For the majority of us, we're talking about the being optimal, still having some insulin, but being lower on the reference range. How do GLP-1 treatments address insulin resistance? They work directly on that pathway by optimizing insulin function. Can you discuss costs? So Jen, the costs are going to vary dramatically because we have so many different programs. So they're going to go over the costs with you during your free consultation. So I'm going to have to hop off here, guys, and get my day started. If you're a type 2 diabetic sugar fox, I would be focusing on trying to reverse your diabetes. We have helped so many people reverse their diabetes, and I feel extremely confident that we can do the same for you. And focusing on your diabetes is going to make the weight loss smoother. So again, guys, this number here is the best number to reach out to my team. I do go live every single morning, Monday through Friday at 5:30 a.m. So be sure to follow us on TikTok. Be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications. And of course, let's rock and roll. Shoot us a text message, get yourself scheduled. Let's kick some ass, guys. All right, everybody. Have a great day.